This guy is just a reflection of you and where you are at inside of yourself. And neither of it is good or bad, it just is. It can be a reflection sometimes of how you are feeling about the world and maybe the shadow inside of you that has yet to be fully expressed. When you see someone else expressing it, you are like, yes, that's the part of me, that's the part I respect, that's the part I want to see pushed forward into the world. And other parts, the parts of you that you really hate, the parts of you that are apparently arrogant, that can open their mouth and speak at times where it's unwarranted and maybe even hurtful, or the times where, you know, you can just be on a conquest. You can be that tyrant at times, right? That part of you that you do not identify with and you've also kept in the shadow. That is also just another part of Donald Trump. The part of you that how you see him is how you are actually manifesting from the inside. And manifesting, I mean just projecting out through these lenses. You are projecting the world out through these eyes, and how you see him in the shade of color you see him, the shade of emotionality you see him, the shade of good or bad you see him is going to be directly related to how you are perceiving yourself in the world from your own internal state. Now, this might be a little bit of a mind fuck, or it may seem like, what is this guy talking about? But if you are on this wavelength, you will understand that everyone that we see outside and how they act in the world and how it makes us feel is just a representation of what we are experiencing from within, the emotional intensity that we feel with a certain character, you know, the goodness or badness that we see in them, possibly the disgracefulness we see in someone. People get so agitated and so angry about how they see certain people in the world when they see them on stage speaking, like, how could he ever say that? Or how could that person ever do that? Yes, where is that coming from inside of you? It's a curious question to ask. And I ask myself all that all the time. When something triggers me, something makes me feel uncomfortable, and someone makes me feel uncomfortable. When I see someone doing something, I'm like, ooh, how is that making me feel? And why is it making me feel like that? When I see something heinous or vile or disgusting or despicable, I notice something coming up inside of me like, ooh, where does that come from? It's a very interesting thing. Is that something I have potentially depressed or not dealt with, or something that is hidden inside of me that I'm afraid to look at, or possibly something inside of me that I'm unwilling to see within all of humanity? There's a very famous idea that if you can see the tyrant inside of yourself, then you are very unlikely to become the tyrant. But the person who cannot see or can't see the torturer or the tyrant or the evil person inside of them, inside of their own humanity, they feel like they're separate from that, then they are the ones that are most likely to be the perpetrators and most likely to cover it up and wrap it up in a bow of they are doing something righteous and good in the world because they haven't explored that side of themselves. They could never do that. They could never be that person. So this is an interesting field of inquiry. How are you positioning yourself? How much have you gone inward, turned inward, actually dipped back into your consciousness to see that you could be every single character in the world? You could be them. Can you see that? Can you feel that? Can you notice that? And perhaps you can't. Perhaps it's not in your field of awareness yet. But some of the highest levels of spiritual development is being able to see every character inside of you. Not only having empathy for them, but having understanding for their character in the world. Maybe characters like Donald Trump, like Saddam Hussein, you know, like evil characters, good characters, bad characters, shady characters, the drug dealer on the street, the homeless man, the rich philanthropist, you know, the aristocrat, the poor beggar. Can you see all of them inside of you? Can you feel compassion and be like, ah, I can see this character on a very deep, fundamental level. I could be this person. I could imagine myself as this person. Can you do that? This is what they call developing and growing in spirituality, when you can truly feel them inside of you. And you don't see a separation like you are higher or lower or you are different, but you are the same. You are projecting them out from inside of you onto the world, and how they see you is generally a reflection back at an aspect of you. And if it's triggering you, an aspect of you that you need to come back to harmony with, to come to acceptance of what is happening in the world, that we are all one emanation from the source. Can you feel and see this? I don't know, can you see Donald Trump as either a reflection of you or highlighting a part of you that needs to do some potential deeper exploration within your consciousness, psyche, spirituality? Sending you so much love on your journey, old friend. I know these topics can be wild at times, and this is a wild one, an interesting one. So, hope you enjoyed. Satnam Vairaguru, Namaste, Aho. This is the way. I'll see you on tomorrow's episode. I post these every day. Please like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy this. I really enjoy sitting in these very deep meditative states and just noticing what comes through. And I hope this is some real content for you, because none of this is ever scripted. It's purely transmissional from me to you. Sending you so much love.